Okay. Yeah, okay, here we go. So I was figuring that this would take place obviously after Aisha is like, "Burp, this is gonna happen,"
Mm-hmm.
and just somewhere in between there. I have no distinct time other than before everything goes down.
Yeah.
So I figure Nat's probably still in there, right?
Probably, yeah. If she's not like in the bed, she will be milling around,
Okay.
keeping an eye on both Hellings and Arthur,
Okay, and
because she's a good noodle.
yes, what a good noodle. A better
Mm.
noodle than Arthur at the moment. Wahaha.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and for the sake of roleplay, fingers crossed, Arthur and Hellings will be still asleep.
I mean, for the sake of roleplay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's just say they've been put under, like, well, they're not put under, but like
They're still
they're
out.
asleep. So
And this
yes.
will probably be before I have Lemons talk to Arthur because I want that to happen too. But anyway.
Oh.
So Lemons comes drifting back in
Mm-hmm.
and closes the door behind him.
Mm-hmm. Nat will notice, but she won't really say anything. She's more just focused on. She'll sort of like do the side eye thing, but then we'll sort of and like a little pause, but we'll move back to what she's doing.
Which is.
Because, yeah.
What is she doing?
She'll largely be either monitoring like their IVs, or she'll be at like over here, or even over here actually, theorizing about succinylcholine and like trying to fiddle about with that if possible.
Okay. So, Lemon slides in, and he's just like, "Oh, don't mind me. Got some patching up to do."
That's fair.
And where was that? That's right there, right? We'll say.
Yeah.
And as he starts like pulling out the supplies and stuff, he's like, "You'd think that during my time in a hospital, I would have gotten myself treated."
Well, your mind was in other places. It tends to do that when somebody's in a worse state than you, I find.
Yeah. And he starts doing the whole having to undress thing, with the shirt at least. Pants off. Nope. Shirt. And if you would like to make a lovely notice. Yeah. So he has a bandage around his chest.
What are you patching up?
And he's quiet for a second. And turns around, and there's more bandages on his chest because he's got his shirt in his hand or whatever, and is setting it down. Something remarkably similar to what you have, actually. And he starts to undo the bandages because he's replacing his bandages. And it's a shotgun wound.
Holy shit. When did you get that? What happened?
I'm fine, don't worry about it.
You're never just fine after something like that. Trust me. What happened?
What do you think happened?
I think Arthur happened, is what I think, even as bad as it is to say that. But I don't think Arthur happened in the same way that it happened to me. Am I wrong?
That's fair enough. But it doesn't leave here.
No, it doesn't.
Good.
The last thing he needs is more reason for Aisha to think that he's unstable. Because as much as Sal set him off, but he didn't know.
He didn't need what happened. I know that.
No. Nor did Sal know the full extent of what was happening with Arthur. Nor was he even fucking aware of the fact that Arthur has paranoia.
And he's like slowly working on his bandage and stuff. And if she offers to help, he'll let her.
She will, but more just sort of wordlessly.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to ask about that. Kind of. I mean, it's what you and he have is similar, yes? You can be as vague as you need to be.
She doesn't answer, and lets the silence be the answer.
Okay. And I was wondering, okay, so you know how a physician will treat an illness. They'll ask about symptoms, but it's not the symptoms they want to cure, it's the illness.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as the opposite, because obviously knowing what the illness is going to endanger.
Yeah.
And I'm already fairly certain of one of the things that is kind of a trigger. So, and he kind of like, he looks at Nat, and I won't even have you roll notice, this is pretty apparent. He's not wearing the shiny part of his glasses. Like, you know how it usually has the mirror shades on. He's got them tucked away.
She has, like, she doesn't hide this. There's like a short intake of breath. Well, before that, actually, there's like a short pause as like she's looking at you and thinking, Lemons, and then there's like, she isn't hiding this, so you don't really need to roll empathy. There's like this visible moment of realization of Eureka, where everything comes together, and like it's in her eyes, it's in her eyebrows mostly. And she leans back in to focus on like your bandages, and it's just like, I know it's tempting for you to start picking the seams at this, but you may want to drop it.
It's not picking. I don't want to know, right? Because I don't want to be in danger.
No, that's fine.
But I want to know if they're. See, that's the thing. If knowing is the problem, then
yeah,
how
exactly.
to go about not knowing.
Exactly. I don't. Not even I. Okay, I can kind of hint at what I don't know.
Only use your best judgment.
I know. I'm going forward with that.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what triggers things.
Okay.
I don't know how much information being imparted. I don't really know the limits. I don't know the boundaries. I don't know the rules. I don't know if it's a case of certain pieces of information. I don't care if it's amounts of information.
Which
I
is
don't care if
why we have to be
I don't know
very
if it's
careful.
both. Exactly.
I was just wondering if I'm going to hope this doesn't cause anything. Because if it does, I'm utterly fucked. When we spoke, and he kind of like glances over to Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
He had this and Lemons does like a really subtle like twitch. He had that. That's not the paranoia. Right?
I don't know.
That's a symptom.
I don't know what that is.
We'll leave it be. I guess I just want to know if there's something that can be done to make it easier to endure. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. And honestly, I'm personally trying to find that out for myself. Because what I've basically been doing is anytime anybody's sort of approached me about it, I've made it clear that any sort of imparting of information could lead them to be in danger. Yes. I don't know how it works, and it's best if they leave it alone, but
that doesn't make it easier for you.
No, exactly. But what does is the following. And it's what I did. It's basically what I did for Arthur the night that we dealt with Vane and Aubrey. And it's this. This may sound stupid to you, but honestly, it's a weight off my mind with anybody that I've talked with about it. There may come a point where I will go and I will do something uncharacteristic, or I will leave and not say why, or I will basically start going off on my own and not explaining myself. And I have asked people who have come to me about this to trust me, because to some extent I know what I'm doing, but to the rest, well, to the rest it's more a case of I don't want them involved. I just want them to vouch for me, for lack of a better term, because that's basically what ended up happening with Arthur and I that night. The whole reason that we went out was something similar.
Fair enough.
And even now, me saying that, I'm
That's fine. You can
regretting
leave
it because.
Leave it.
Thank you. But you see what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm. And I will not.
So.
Press.
Fair enough. But if/when he wakes up and she looks back towards Arthur, let him know the same thing. Or at the very least, yeah, at the very least, let him know to give you some kind of sign.
Okay.
So that you're able to differentiate between when he's being a fucking asshole and when it's
when it's related.
Important. Yeah. And honestly, that will be. I can guess that will be a fairly big weight off of his mind.
Thank you, Nat.
You're welcome. Quick question, actually. Is this post Lemons having come back and being like, this is post him being like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you gonna put him under to Aisha?
Yeah, this is after all that, so. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
there's something I wanted to ask you. I don't mean to pry. Well, I don't know exactly what I mean to do anymore because she sort of pinches the bridge of her nose. Regardless. Yeah. You seem a lot more invested, for lack of a better term, in Arthur than you were previously.
Ooh.
Has something happened?
I don't know if she needs to roll. I don't know if he's gonna clam up. You know what?
If you
he's
feel
starting
like
to
he's
clam up. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my resolve composure.
Mm.
Cool.
She's gonna roll then.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh. Hey.
Ah, shit.
She can keep asking the question, obviously. She just doesn't get the really obvious reaction.
Yeah, no, totally.
And she asked what happened.
Has anything happened?
Just starting to realize some things, that's all.
Such as?
Such as that he isn't just a grump.
No, he isn't. But that's not the only thing, is it?
There may be a subtle eye roll going on.
There may be. Is it obvious?
You can make a notice roll. I'm not gonna try to hide it because obviously eye rolls are eye rolls. There it was. There was the eye roll.
Lemons, come on. She folds her arms. You know me. The reason I hate this is because I have to be vague with people and pussyfoot around and talk bullshit, and you know that I hate that. If you don't want to tell me, just say that you don't want to tell me. Otherwise... And she shrugs, as if to say, out with it.
He looks at her. And he glances up to Arthur. Let's just say that I guess Theo may not have been the only person I care about.
Oh.
Shut up about it, Chuck.
She raises both hands defensively. I'm not judging or saying anything. I'm like, that's not a bad thing. Especially here of all places. If anything, that's a good thing because it gives you something to fight for and something to come back to.
It's... God, it is hella complicated.
I imagine it is. And I'd ask more about it, but it's your business and you don't have to tell me about it if it's too personal.
And he nods. He does like the little series of nods, you know? Yeah. If I feel like talking more about it, I'll remember that you want to know.
No worries. Well, it's not even necessarily just a case of I want to know anymore. It's also a case of Lemons, you're my friend, and I am invested in what my friends do and their affairs and whatnot. And I get protective of them and I want to help them. And if I feel like I can't, but that's my hang up and I'll deal with that. But
well, my hang up is feelings apparently, so there's that.
Well, if you ever want to talk feelings, don't feel like you have to, because you don't. But 2 things. First, my door is always open. And second, in terms of she like raises both arms and like does a short little like 190 degree and then a 180 like waist movement around her. This in terms of all this, you can't let it, for lack of a better term, get in the way, because that's when things get hairy.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy. Oh.
Countered.
Shit.
He's a chill cucumber. He fumbled up by telling you a thing, but it's all back behind the gates again.
Bro. Nice. Look,
just don't say anything, okay?
What, to Aisha or something? Are you kidding?
To anyone. Shush.
Okay. I'm gonna shush. And she raises a finger to her lips dramatically. I'm saying nothing, okay? That's between you two.
Jeez.
But
and then
regardless of what's happening, you know that he's not well.
I know.
And you know.
And
I know that
what is happening, what Aisha's plan is it's rational. It makes sense. And I was the irrational one. I would say I don't know what came over me, and to some degree I still don't. But
to some degree you also know exactly what came over you, and
yes.
It doesn't help
yes.
lessen the feeling of this is wrong.
Yes. It is hard to not be biased.
No, I totally understand. I went through the same thing when she brought it up to me.
Yes, and it is also hard considering the fact that he might know something. In fact, he probably does know something. He knows a lot of things.
Yeah, that's part of why I was... Okay. This doesn't leave you and me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to talk her and River down from 2 weeks.
2.
Yeah. Originally it was going to be that. And I also had to push for them having a day in between when he wakes up and when he gets put under, so that questions could be asked.
Well, at least we've got some time.
Exactly.
Even if it's just a couple, like an hour or something. He's been here a whole month on his own. I mean, other than Jason.
Exactly. Which can't have been easy. Like.
No, it couldn't have. Not for him.
Not for him, and not given his situation.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at him, like, looks at Arthur.
And Lemons looks too. It's like that conspiratorial, they're both talking and then they both just glance over to him.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah.
Well, we're gonna work with what we've got.
I'd like to think so.
And hope to, dear Lord in heaven, if there is one, that putting him under isn't going to be one of the worst mistakes we make.
Well, I certainly hope not. It's what I'm gunning for anyway. It's what I'm hoping for. But given what happened, given the fact that River fucking... I wasn't there for it because I was on the floor with shrapnel in my chest, but River hadn't met him at that point, so she was... Because of how long she spent away from people, hunter instincts kicked in and she went, oh right, source of gunshot, enemy, bang. And given how mortally wounded she rendered Arthur, he does kinda need the time under, if only to heal a bit.
Yes, he does. I know, and it's something that would have been done in a hospital, so... Yes, of course.
It just sucks to think about.
I mean,
believe me, it does.
So soon after he finds out that we're coming back.
Right? How did he take... Well, I can't imagine it would have taken him well, but how did he take finding out about Carly?
It wouldn't have gone well, I don't think, but I promised him that he would be the first to talk to her when she woke up, and I mean, that's part of the reason why I volunteered. To make sure I was the one to give her the phone so that he could talk to her.
Fair enough.
I mean, think about it. She's one of the only ones he has left.
Exactly. She's...
Oh my god, this song is not it.
Oh Jesus, this song is not appropriate. Hold on. I don't. No, I don't want this. Oh Jesus. Oh, we're all coming apart. Oh Jesus.
Give it to me. Get out of there.
I'm gonna fucking... honestly, we're left to manage things on our own, and
It's so hard.
instantly we're back to dicks. Like, fuck's sake. So you were saying
What was I saying?
about Arthur and Carly.
Yes, Arthur and
It's one of
Carly.
the last ones she has left.
Yeah, she's all that he has left.
Mm.
And I wanted to make sure that her recovery would be fine.
Mm. And did he get to talk to her
The song is kind of intense in this switch.
first?
Yes. There's you want to roll go ahead and roll an empathy on that.
Mm.
But of course I'm going to have to roll lying. Wah, wah.
Wow.
Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, yep. Arthur was the
Nice.
first
Well
one.
done, Lemons. Good. That's fair enough. I'm glad he got to be there for that.
Yeah.
So how did he take it? Or do you not? Was it a case of, I take it he won't have been on speaker or anything?
Oh, he was, because I may or may not have left it on speaker.
Oh.
He was really happy that she was still with us. To
Good.
summarize it.
Mm.
But yeah. The sooner she gets back, I mean,
Exactly.
the better, but also she needs to recover.
Exactly.
And we just have to
Like
survive.
when she gets back, we're going out, like somewhere together. I don't know where yet, but she needs something normal and good and fun.
Yes.
You know?
And he finishes wrapping up his the bandage, obviously. Or maybe he
Mhm.
already did and he's just been slowly putting everything back. Well, thanks for the talk.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'm always here.
And remember, he puts finger to his lips. Hush.
Oh, of course. And she puts her own finger to her lips. They're sealed. Don't worry.
Good. Can't let anyone know that I have feelings.
Ugh. Fucking feelings, right? What even are they? Ugh. And she like tilts her head back in like an overly dramatic but still smiling like tongue stick out.
Nice. And he'll pat her on the shoulder like, thanks.
Don't worry about it. Seriously, no.
Go ahead. Was there anything else she was gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
She goes to open mouth and stops herself. And then pauses for a bit.
Gonna
And then looks.
empathy.
Oh.
Tiny baby empathy. Let's do it.
The tiniest.
Bop.
Oh, Natalie's thinking about something. You don't fucking know.
Nope, he don't fucking know. He waits.
And then she sort of looks off to the left.
Whoa, I think you
Seemingly.
pooped out.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. She.
Oh,
So
it
was
was
she
my
just
headphones.
silent and then looked away, or?
Yeah, she like silent, looking off to the left, and then she'll look back at him.
Okay.
How was she? Like when you left her?
When I left her, she's doing well,
Good.
as well as can be considered.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I totally get that, but it's good that she's recovering. I'm glad.
There is something that I will have to speak to a certain Santos about, though. Again, between you and me.
What do you mean?
So he must have been in Desir before me. Because, well, I saw the signature page, or whatever it was. He was there before I was.
Oh.
And, she didn't have, you know how she wears Roderick's tags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, her tags weren't there. I looked for them, I couldn't find them.
She frowns. Yeah, I would talk to him about that. Why? As she pinches the bridge of her nose and like starts a sentence like about 5 separate times before she's actually able to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for when you guys got her out, but I got over there afterwards, and she was in a really bad way. What happened? I wasn't there for it. I was.
Oh, back there.
Yeah, I was. They were at our feet, and they were.
He puts a hand on her shoulder.
They were trying to grab everybody, and I scared them off, but I didn't get to her in time.
Nat.
What?
We got her out of there.
No, I know, and I'm. She takes a deep breath in and then out. I'm forever grateful to you both for that. Like, neither of you can fathom how in you guys' debt I am. I want to know what happened. Like, afterwards, Sal was like really weirdly quiet and just sort of glary, and
okay. Guess what? More stuff not leaving this room. Okay. So it was looking really bad. Like, really bad. Sal was fine. He had his armor, but I mean, Theo was trapped. I was in the middle of everything, trying to keep the vines and just trying to keep her breathing.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where I almost called it. I thought that it wasn't going to work, and that it would be logical to leave her. But Theo kept shooting at the mandrakes, and I decided, I said fuck it, and I kept trying to help her. That's what happened. I hope to God that Carly doesn't remember.
Okay, so where did that leave Sal?
I don't know. He was agreeing with me up to that point, and then I turned around and decided to keep helping her, and I mean, Sal's feelings are very strange. I've always been trying to kind of wrap my head around how he thinks, and it's not easy to follow. Especially since after everything, I don't know how he feels about anyone. He's been giving me the cold shoulder.
Well,
that was before Carly, but more so now, I think. And I guess in retrospect, maybe it was that. Maybe it was because I was almost a really awful person. Am I awful for saying that? Was I?
Roll an empathy, Lemons.
Shit. Hey, look at that.
Cool. She's not trying to hide it.
Okay.
She is very, very conflicted right now. Like, she's kind of doing that thing where she's sort of looking off to one side, and like her lower jaw is like hanging slightly open, and like slightly jutting forward. You know, where like someone's either really conflicted or really pissed, and you can't tell which.
He sees this.
She closes her eyes and screws them shut. What? I'm the wrong person to ask that, considering what happened, because any answer I give it's not going to be an objective one. It's not going to be an answer that's reliable or that you want, because it's
Oh, you blooped.
There, and she...
You blooped.
Oh, hello?
Or I blooped.
Oh, did I?
Either
shit.
one. I missed some of that.
Fair enough. What did you hear?
She was starting to go about how she wasn't the right person to ask that.
Oh, yeah. Hello?
Hello?
There we go. Cool. So yeah, she basically said that, like, I'm not the right person to ask that, because anything I say, any answer I give is going to be colored by my own experiences in there. And
Okay.
with that, she'll reach into her pocket and like pick out her phone and sort of wiggle a little bit in the air. It's not. She sighs and looks off to the side again. I can't really give an objective answer to that, and as much as I'd like to, I'm sorry.
No.
I can't.
It's fair enough. The point is that
you
as
did
shitty
what you
as
thought.
a human I stayed.
You did what you thought was right in the moment, and based on the evidence, I don't think anybody could blame you for thinking that, because there was...
Nat, we almost lost her.
in there. I know. I know we did, but we... If it's difficult for me to face up to that because we almost lost her to them.
Right.
And she looks at him with a sort of new...
With a sort of what? Sorry.
Roll an empathy.
Okay. Boop, boop. Yay.
There is a fierceness in her eyes that wasn't there previously, but you can tell it's not directed at you.
It's from the mandrakes. Right?
Yeah, you know where it's from. All you can tell is it's not from you. That there might be a connection. It seems logical. We almost lost her to them, and again, any assessment I give of that situation, I know this, it's not going to be objective. It's not. But you did your best. You and Sal both did your best, and whatever whatever either of you may have done, or may have tried to do, or may have thought about doing, or almost acted upon, you got her out, and you got her out alive. And yes, she physically was worse for wear, but you got her out alive and to a position where she could recover, and that, quite frankly, is one of the better case scenarios. So whatever else you might think about yourself, whatever else Sal may think about himself in light of that, like, don't focus on what you were going to do. Don't look at the... If ifs and buts were Kenyan nuts, then we'd all be fucking not starving. And, well, you know what I mean, but...
Yeah. Eloquently put. I do
Yeah,
get it, though.
Fair enough. Fact is, what matters is the result. And while there may have been bumps getting there,
Oop, did you bloop?
there were times where I thought we were going to have to leave her. And the fact that you and Sal were able to get her out and get her out alive, I will... In there,
I'm sorry.
what almost happened to her?
You blooped again.
Oh,
I'm really sorry. I think
shit.
there's some
Oh, no, it's
screaming going
fine.
on in the house.
Oh, that's fine. What? What did you hear?
Getting Carly out alive.
Oh, yeah. I'm forever grateful to you both for that, because what almost happened to her, what went on in there, that is a fate that is worse than death. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you both for doing what you could to spare.
Nouns.
So Yeah, just don't try to focus on what you were going to do and what you thought about what you were going to do. Just because we're all trying to be better. So focus on what you managed to do. Because if you can do it once, then you can do it again. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Cool.
Now try telling that to Sal.
I'm gonna need to have another talk with him.
As am I. I haven't been able to talk to him at all.
Well, I managed to get a hold of him, but other than you, he's been, well, again, other than you, he's the only other person here to have called me on any shit that I've done and been right. And he did that in our last talk. And I appreciate that. And I want to try to let him know that I appreciate that. Because I think he knows, but I don't think he knows how.
What it's done.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I'll just give you the heads up that I'm going to try to talk to him.
Okay.
And if he keeps avoiding me, I may have to recruit some people.
Well,
but we'll just hope it doesn't come down to that.
hopefully not. I don't think it will, but if it does, she raises a hand and like waggles. She like, well, actually she raises her bandaged left hand and like sort of tries to waggle like the fingers, and with some it works and with some it kind of doesn't. Mm-hmm. You got me in your corner.
Cool. And he'll do like a little, like almost a shake, like shake your hand.
She'll try her best to shake it back.
It's very careful because
yeah. Sorry, I'm getting used to. She motions to the hand. This and motions to herself. Well, this will, but
the other thing.
I'll have to get used to it.
We'll talk about that sometime. That one is more curiosity. And I don't think I'll regret that one.
No.
Smiles.
No, I don't think you'll regret it either.
Okay, well, I best go and actually do other things.
Okay.
So, good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking with you.
And hold
I missed it. She thumbs up. That's what I've been doing. Just remember to feed Sarah, because apparently she's fucking huge now.
Oh, good. I haven't seen her yet.
Oh yeah, she's huge. Like, she's like, Theo was round with her like a couple of times while I've been lying in bed or like moving around, and she's, you should see her wingspan, man. It's fucking
neat, as Theo would say.
Yeah.
He smiles and starts walking towards the door.
She moves out of the way for you.
Thanks again.
Don't mention Edgar.
See you either when I come back in or when it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. Hey,
Hmm?
do I have your trust for if I ever do something like what I said?
Gonna have to. Yes. Yes, you have my trust.
Thanks. And she gives a little teeny smile, and if you want, you can roll an empathy.
That's okay, cause you can also empathy.
Hmm.
I got the one baby empathy on you. Oh damn. So when
I got the
Lemon
4 on you.
Yes, when Lemon said that you've got his trust, there's kind of an unspoken oh shit, what was it? Kind of an unspoken don't lose it. Like basically one time you've got his trust, and if you lose it, he's gonna be
That's
hard to
it.
get back. Yep.
Yeah, it's a case of don't fuck it up, make it count.
Yep.
Produce results.
Yep, exactly.
Fair enough.
And what was
So
my
with the-
baby empathy on you?
She's not really trying to hide it, so she basically just hates this situation where she has to go off of trust and not be open with people. Like she doesn't like having to she didn't like having to ask the question, and she like doesn't like where that puts her in relation to other people. But she is glad very much that you have said yes.
Sweet. And with that, wooey's out.
Boy!
Boy.
Da 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 da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Bop.
Da 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 da. Feelings.